Nouns in Spanish are categorized as either masculine or feminine. They are often accompanied by a definite article like el, la, los, and las. All of these mean the. El and los are used with masculine nouns. La and las are used with feminine nouns, while el and la are singular, and los and las are plural. So we would use the word el with a masculine singular noun like libro, el libro. We would use los with a masculine plural noun, again, libro, los libros. La would be used with a feminine singular noun, la mochila. And las would be used with a feminine plural noun, for instance, las mochilas. Nouns can also be accompanied by an indefinite article, like un, una, unos, and unas. Una and unos are used with masculine nouns. Una and unas are used with feminine nouns, while un and una are singular, and unos and unas are plural. Una and una both mean a, an, or one. Unos and unas both mean some. We would use un with a masculine singular noun, again, libro, un libro. We would use unos with a masculine plural noun, unos libros. Una would be used with a feminine singular noun, so una mochila, and unas with a feminine plural noun, unas mochilas. There's a certain characteristic of many nouns that can help us identify it as either masculine or feminine. The ending of the word is that key characteristic we're looking for. For instance, words that end in an A are generally feminine. So, la silla, la basura. But there are exceptions to this. Words like el mapa, el dia, note that they're preceded by el instead of la, because these ones are masculine words. We also have endings, words that end in an O. Generally, they are masculine. El libro, el teléfono. But we have exceptions to this. La mano, which means the hand. It is feminine. La moto and la foto. Now, la moto and la foto are not true exceptions because truly the word is la motocicleta, la fotografía. It's just that people generally don't say the entire word. They abbreviate it la moto, but it is feminine. Another indicator that a word might be feminine is if it ends in umbre. For instance, la certidumbre. Word might be masculine if it ends in ma. For instance, el problema, el programa. Now, these words that are masculine, they come from Greek, and these words tend to be masculine. Now, there are other words that don't come from Greek that still end in ma that are feminine. For instance, la cama, which means bed, la rama, the branch, la lagrima, the tear, la trama, it's like the plot of a story, and la pluma, which is feather or pen. But keep in mind, these 5 exceptions, as far as the exercises that we will do, these are the only 5 exceptions that you will have to work with on the exercises that I give you here in a minute. There are other ones, but let's not worry about those at this point. A word might be feminine, or a word is feminine if it ends in dad or tad. For instance, la libertad, la ciudad. La libertad meaning liberty, la ciudad meaning city. It generally is masculine if it ends in an R, like el hogar, the home, el conquistador, the conqueror, and we still have exceptions to this as well. So, for instance, la mujer, the woman, la flor, the flower. And finally, if a word ends in cion or sion, it is feminine. So, la canción, the song, la misión, the mission. The following is an exercise to allow you to practice using the definite articles that you've learned here. Indicate which definite article, el or la, los or las, should be used with the given nouns. Pause the video to give yourself time to work through the words. Go ahead and begin now. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at it. We'll break it down. Las computadoras. Okay, we're going to use las here because the word ends in an A. We've made it plural here. We've added an S to make it plural, but it is a feminine word. Las computadoras. It ends in an A, so feminine. The next word, camas, ends in an MA. We've made it plural, but it ends in an MA. But keep in mind, this is not one of the masculine ones. This is one of the 5 exceptions that I just gave you in the previous slide. So this one is feminine. Las camas. Foto. It ends in an O, but if you remember back, this is one of the words that's an abbreviation. It should really be fotografía. So it's an abbreviation of that, and it is la foto. It's singular, so we use la instead of las. The next one is redención. Note that it ends in cion. Now, if you remember, all the words end in cion are a specific gender. And in this case, that gender is feminine. Note that it's also singular, so we're going to go with singular feminine, and that is going to be la redención. Tractor. It ends in an R. Most words that end in an R are masculine. So in this case, and in this case, it's also singular. So el tractor. Mapas is a little bit more complicated. This one is an exception. It ends in an A. So the temptation is to say las mapas. But note that this one is an exception. You simply have to memorize the exceptions to this rule. So mapas is los mapas. Calendarios, this one follows the rule. It ends in an O. We've made it plural. So it's plural, masculine, los calendarios. Realidad ends in DAD. All words that end in DAD are feminine. So it's singular, it's feminine, so la realidad. Costumbres. Now this word ends in umbre. We've added an S to make it plural, so it's feminine, plural, las costumbres. You don't have to know the meaning of many of these words, just follow the rules that you've learned. If it ends in umbre, it's feminine. Sistemas. Now this one ends in MA. We've made it plural. Words that end in MA are masculine, minus the 5 exceptions that we've learned. There are others, but only worry about those 5 exceptions. This one is masculine, so los sistemas. Luces. So this is the plural of luz, L-U-Z. This one, there's nothing about this word that is going to tell you this is masculine or this is feminine. You simply have to memorize it. It is feminine. Las luces. Ventana ends in an A. It's feminine. It's singular. La ventana. Puerta. Again, it ends in an A. It's feminine. It's singular. La puerta. Mujeres. Now this one ends in an R, but remember this was an exception. And this is an obvious exception. Mujer means woman, which is why it is feminine. It's plural, las mujeres. Escritorio, it ends in an O, it's singular, So it's masculine singular, el escritorio. This next one's a little bit more complicated. Jueves. Jueves means Thursday. Now this could be either singular or plural. So we get to choose depending on what we're trying to say. And at the same time, jueves is a day of the week. Now, days of the week are masculine. Dia, even though it ends in an A, is an exception to that rule. It is masculine. So days of the week are masculine. So this one we could say el jueves or los jueves. Either one is correct. Now we'll skip ahead to indefinite articles. In this case, use this exercise to practice using the indefinite articles that we've learned. So indicate which indefinite article, un, una, unos, or unas, should be used with the given nouns. Again, pause the video to give yourself time to work through these words and then start it up to get the answers. All right, let's take a look at it. The first one, these are the same words that we just worked through, but here we're using the indefinite articles. Computadoras, it is feminine, plural, so unas computadoras. Camas, remember this was an exception to the MA rule, so it's feminine, and it's plural, so unas camas. Foto, short for fotografía, it is feminine, it is singular, una foto. Redención ends in CION, it is feminine. Words that end in CION are feminine, it's singular, una redención. Tractor ends in an R, those words are generally masculine, it's singular, un tractor. Mapas, it is plural. It looks feminine, but it's not. Remember, this is one of the exceptions. So, unos mapas. Calendarios ends in an O. We've made it plural. Realidad ends in DAD. It's feminine. Singular. Una realidad. Costumbres. Umbre is feminine. We've made it plural. So, unas costumbres. Sistemas, it ends in an MA. This is masculine. Plural, unos sistemas. Luces, if you remember, luz was one you simply have to memorize. It is feminine, plural in this case, so unas luces. Ventana ends in an A, it's feminine, it's singular, una ventana. Puerta, same case, ends in an A, it's feminine, singular, una puerta. Mujeres, women, naturally feminine, so even though it ends in an R, it's going to be feminine. Unas mujeres, since it is plural. Escritorio ends in an O. Un escritorio, it's singular. And then finally, jueves can go singular or plural, but it has to be masculine since it's a day. Dia is masculine, day of the week. Un jueves, unos jueves. I hope that helps out a little bit. Keep working hard.